Hi folks, I thought I'd run through how we use our Pike blocks in our games. We're using 7th edition, WRG 7th edition, much revised by ourselves. And what you can see now is two 40-man units of Pike. I'll just show you those. That's what, oh, does it show up? Yeah, that's what they look like. Pike blocks. My Pike shields are virtually all card, just cut out, so printed off Tinternet and cut out because I couldn't face painting hundreds and hundreds of shields. Not that I've got a good enough skill to do that. So what we've got is two 40-man units of Pike. That's what I've shown here. They could be up to 48 figures. We usually have them in 40, counting 5 ranks deep. I am going to be adding, I think, a front rank of heavy infantry to some of my units. I've just started painting those, but quite a lot to do still. So that's what my plan is. Right, so what we get, that's the, oh, you can't see that. That's the normal dice we'd be using, which is the D6 for certain things, and then the average dice for combats. And shooting. Right, so to run through the Pike obviously don't shoot, just get my measuring stick. Right, to run through how the Pike would work in our games. Standard 40-man unit, say we use usually 2 elements wide and 5 elements deep. That's how we do it. I've double based a lot of these because it's just too many figures to fall over. They do tend to fall over having metal pikes. Right, so the Pikes would manoeuvre as normal until they got to, there we go, falling over, 80 paces from each other. At 80 paces a charge could be declared by either of them or both of them. Right, so we would then come to the charge phase and declare a charge. Let's assume they're both charging, so you'd move up to 40 paces and the other unit up to 40 paces, and we've got the clash of Pikes there. Right, now for our games, as both units moved, so they're both charged 40 paces, we have all the front rank, all the second rank, all the third rank, half of the 4th rank and half of the 5th rank, which gives us 32 figures from a 40-man unit fighting. Now what we have, they're medium infantry, no armoured Pike, so it would be 32 at 3, that's for the Pike charging medium infantry, 3 advancing or charging 4, and push a Pike 5. So we end up getting 32 at 5, which is 64, 128. 40-man units, that's 3 CPFs on each unit, that's 3 casualties per figure, which would make them disordered. So I've added a disorder counter or marker to each of the units. So at the end of the bound, they've each received 3 casualties per figure. They're not tired, they have to get to 5 to get tired, and nobody will push back. So the push of Pike stops. We've now come to a kind of rugby scrum idea. Okay, so in round 2, or the second round of combat, we've got disordered Pike. They're not going anywhere. We haven't got the push of Pike, and we haven't got the follow-up or charge move. So it's a basic front rank, second rank and third rank. We now don't get the 4th and 5th ranks because we're not advancing, so we get 24 figures, 8, 8 and 8 in each of the units. So it's 24 at factor 3, but they are disordered close order, that's a -2. So we now become 24 at 1, and 24 at 1 will do 36 casualties. That isn't 1 casualty per figure. It's half a casualty per figure. We actually record halves in our games because they're larger units, so it's half a casualty per figure, so it would go on for another round. So you go on for several more rounds until you get to tired. That will be another minus. Now we're taken down 24 at 0, so it's quite a slog match. So what we actually need is the dice to break the stalemate or the slog. And what we can do is say, right, let's roll the dice, and let's, well, we don't need to roll the dice, but let's say one unit rolls a plus and the other one rolls an even. So we've got a plus here. So in the third round, this one would be, so the first two rounds, the first round had the amazing amount of casualties each, 128 each. Second round, nothing really happened, because they rolled evens, we could say. But now once we get a plus or a benefit over the other unit, things start to change. So for this unit, let's assume they rolled a +1 on the dice. They're a basic 3, +1 4, but down 2 because they're disordered. That's 24 at 2, that's 48. That is one casualty per figure on this unit. This unit will do at 0 will do 36, half a casualty. So this unit beats that unit, they would be pushed back. They're already disordered. Pushback will cause a second cause of disorder. I know it's complicated, I do apologise, but that's what would happen. So for the first disorder, you're not pushed back. Pikes are not pushed back, they just sort of come to a grinding halt. This is the second pushback. There would now be a waiver test. Now pike are usually regular C, so let's roll a dice, let's just see what we get. That's a 3, that is just enough. They needed a 3. We assume there's nothing else wrong, so they passed. This unit has passed. Had they failed, they would have become shaken, but they stay disordered. And now the next round, this is where things will improve for this unit that advanced. So the next round, let's assume this rolls evens again. That would still do, where are we, 36, they're not tired yet, are they? 48, no, well let's assume they're not tired. So they just do 36 casualties. But the unit pushing back will now have the front rank, second rank, third rank, half the fourth and half the fifth rank, so they go back up to 32 figures. It's a basic 3, following up 4, push a pike 5. Okay, so that gives them factor 5, but they are disordered, takes them down to factor 3. And that is 32 at 3, which now takes them to 80. 80 to 48, not twice as many, so not another waiver test, but you can see what's happening. These guys have now got the edge on these. Unless they roll a fantastic plus, these will grind them because they've now gone tired. So the next round there's another minus to this unit. This unit would still be okay, but that's the pusher pike. The pike blocks. That's using WRG 7th with our own amendments, etc, etc. But I thought I'd just do a little show and tell on how we play our pikes and how they work. Yeah, 40-man units, as I say. I think I may be upping mine to 48-man units. That simply helps with the casualties per figure. I won't get any more fighting. If I do a front rank of armoured infantry, that will just drop one of those ranks. They won't count as fighting, but they'll count for the bulk of the unit. Anyway, just my little show and tell on how we use our pikes. So, thanks a lot, and bye for now.